It's only Tuesday?
It is. It's Tuesday. Yeah, happy Tuesday. Michelle, you're awkward. You're awkward.
It's only Tuesday. I didn't know.
Yeah, so today is Tuesday, so happy Tuesday. You were about to sing a song and then you stopped yourself. What happened?
No, I wasn't singing a song. Hello, Ashford Life 2018. How are you?
Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, Bill. 324 Finds. What are you guys up to today? Today we're going to be talking about, I'll write the comment down. I'll pin the topic.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Q4 more in depth. We're sharing the top 10 tips to get ready for Q4. And as many of you guys know, Q4 is like a buzzword for resellers. So it's going to be quite busy as we had expected. It will be because people are not shopping at the store anymore. I heard Black Friday, Walmart will be closed. All the big stores, big retailers will be closed. So everyone's going to shop online earlier.
Bill says roof going up this week. One down, one to go. I'm going to guess. Is the flooring what is left? But that's a big deal, getting a brand new roof. Exciting. Buy winter stuff, 100%. Yes, you want to start getting winter stuff. We're already getting a lot of requests for warm jackets. So that's definitely going to be a part of it. Happy Tuesday, My Web Promos and Vasquez Vintage. Thanks for joining us today, guys. So, when we have these lives with other resellers, we basically we do want to share information and have, introduce a topic, but it's really kind of interesting when, all of us, even the resellers in the chat, are contributing their experiences and their tips because you're helping us and you're also helping all of the listeners. So we do upload we do upload this at on our podcast, the Flipping Else podcast on YouTube, and it stays recorded on IGTV. So good evening, Leslie. Happy Tuesday to you. So I am just curious, or we are curious, what are you guys doing to get ready for Q4? And really get ready, right? Planned out, get ready, right? Execute a plan to the best of your ability. It looks like I guessed right. Bill said you got it, Marina.
And what was your experience like for Q4 last year? Or the year before?
Yeah,
Please share with us.
For those of you who were selling in 2019, what was your experience like for Q4? And Bill said, I forgot about the podcast. Cool. Yep. You guys are on our podcast. Those of you who are joining daily, because we're uploading there on the daily. So let's get started. So just really quickly, I'll put up the topic. We're going to get started with our first kind of theme or topic. Vasquez Vintage says, organizing our storage area, buying inventory like crazy, busy.
Kiki is always part of our podcast. And live.
You have to get your boxes ready, and then but I was still part-time. Yes, these are all really, really good tips. So let's start with the first kind of organized tip that we have for you. So we all want to set an attainable goal for Q4 and try to get analytical about it. If you've been reselling for even 6 months, you have some data that you can use to help you sell those items again in Q4. You have quite a bit of data, actually. So Leslie from A Reseller's Passion said Q4 in 2019 was great for me. Normally Q4 is always good. Good comment there.
Yeah, like Marina said, if you've been selling for, let's say, over a year, definitely look at your data from last year and see what sold. And look at timing, too. There is a seasonality for Q4. So look at all those data and see what people are looking for. And use those and you could set your goals from there. Look at your sales and say, let's say, last year you made, $4,000 and you say, I want to do $8,000 this year. see if it's achievable, see what you need to do to get there.
I would double whatever you made last year. We're in a very kind of interesting time for us as resellers. And it wouldn't be crazy if you're like, I want to double my profits from last year to this year.
Or triple.
As a goal.
I mean, online buying is such like a need now for everyone. You just buy everything online because of COVID.
Vasquez Vintage says, tightening up our processes for basically everything. I mean, and she says LOL, but that's actually really, really good advice. And that's what we recommend too, is like, go back to square one. And we're going to revisit those 10 tips now, but go back to square one and look at every single little thing. And basically those words that they used, tighten your processes. So let's get started, right? So again, tip number 1, set a reachable Q4 goal. Reachable in this case can be pushing it because of the pandemic and situation we're in. Get analytical about it. Number 2 is get organized, right?
So like Vasquez Vintage said, they're cleaning up their storage area. You definitely, if you're building up your inventory, you need space for your inventory. So take a few days, sit down, go through your inventory, separate the piles into what you're going to keep and what goes. Make a list of all the items that you're getting rid of, and sometimes maybe if the listing is super stale, the item has been there for years, maybe consider removing it and donating them.
Yeah, so 324 Finds recommending sweaters, jackets, blankets, all the warm stuff. Good boots, Halloween stuff, 100%. Reseller's Passion says, I'm preparing for this Q4 a little differently this year. I'm preparing handmade items this year. I'm tie-dyeing, bleaching this year. I'm preparing sweaters and socks and fall weather items. So I know Reseller's Passion has her own store and it's focused on tie-dye. So that's really cool. It's certainly a niche right now. And then she's doubling it up, right? So everyone, all of us, we can look for sweaters, socks, blankets, but how cool that, a Reseller's Passion, Leslie's gonna fuse those two things together. That's a really cool angle. So if you guys have any niches, I know there's some other resellers that are really into selling cars, like Hot Wheels. Well, pump up those Hot Wheels like blankets or socks or whatever is in your niches. Good evening, Funko Pop Gal 5 and Nakia Ray. Now, to continue and, with what Michelle said, getting organized is really important. And you'll probably have, you may even double your sales this Q4. And so definitely want to prepare for that. Be prepared also for maybe some returns that you might get, in January or, what have you.
Yeah.
A little increase in returns. So make space for that as well. Leslie says, I'm also working on inventory, especially now that I'm selling new items. 100%. And happy Tuesday, Thrifter Mom.
Okay, tip number 3 is set a sourcing strategy. So as I think for Q4, the busiest time is November through January. So look for, think about what items you want to source. And think about, hey, people don't want to go out right now. Are they going to stay home? What are they going to buy as gifts for other people? So go through that list and see what items do you want to source? What items do you want to sell? And where do you want to source them?
Yeah, so basically sit down. And again, we're going through this today because it is mid-August. Is it mid-August?
No.
Beginning of August. And this is when you should do this, not in 2 months. So this is when especially with the pandemic. So there's a lot of buzz out there that Q4 is going to peak earlier this year. And that totally makes sense. People are not going to be waiting last minute and go walk to, drive to the mall. That's just not going to happen this year. So everything's going to be obviously done online. So you want to prepare now. So sit down and write down what items you want to intentionally be sourcing and just super focus your energy on multiplying how many of those items you are committed to getting. Set a specific number for how many of those items you want. And not to forget, you will need to set a budget because there's a good chance you won't get that money back right away and you'll be sitting on a little bit of inventory until the holidays get a little bit closer, we do have some comments that I'd like to address. So Leslie said, Bill said, we're going to reorganize our new space for sure. How perfect timing for Bill from 324 Finds and his wife, Girly Girl Style, they just got a new home, for all that space. Leslie said, I'm also working on inventory, especially now that I'm selling new items. Bill said, the mass hanging items for toys are selling like hotcakes as well. Those are really, really cool. Leslie said, I'm going to be selling more games, puzzles, and electronics from Mercari. I did well in the spring with these items. Thanks for sharing. Definitely those would be good for the warm seasons when it's too cold in some places to be outside, and people will be home doing the puzzles and the games and everything we saw that had happened during quarantine. Very good tips there. And Bill said, yikes, after the move, Bill Thrifts is going to make a comeback. I am so excited and looking forward to that. And Leslie said, my sourcing strategy, did I say that wrong? Has definitely changed. I've been sourcing more online. I think handmade will be great items for gifts. I will be making hats, scarves, and mittens this year. I think hats, scarves, and mittens, even if you bundle that together, will be, especially handmade, will be amazing, amazing gifts. So how cool is that? We do have a really good question from Bill. So what's your Q4 plan, ladies? He got us right on the spot. So for us, we are actually, it's tough because as we said, we do this part-time, and this is kind of also why we wanted to talk about it, because we really have to plan out our time, and we want to do a lot of online sourcing. So to be honest, we don't have a set plan yet, but I do know that I want to do more Amazon stuff, and Michelle wants to do more eBay stuff. So that's kind of where we're at. This week is my last week teaching summer school, and then Michelle and I are going to be able to sit down and do the nitty-gritty planning details. So thanks for asking that question, Bill. We're definitely going to be approaching our personal planning coming up soon.
Okay, so the next tip is, this is relating to sourcing strategies. Don't do what everyone else is doing. So, every holiday there are hot items that people are always going after. Sometimes the retailers, they heavily stock the store. So there's a good chance that people are better off buying at the store than buying from you. The tip is really don't do what everyone is buying. Don't buy what everyone's buying.
And what we mean by that are just hot, very hot items that very heavy resellers that have a lot of funds and money are going to be selling at super low prices. That may not be the best strategy. But for us, what has been selling for us, we'll probably double down on that. And we're going to continue to source online, because we don't want to expose our health during this time. And you know what? This is still summer, and we don't know what's going to happen in the fall and winter. With the pandemic, things could get really bad at that time.
Yeah, and flu season. All right, next thing is stock up on supplies.
So this is tip number 4.
Stock up on supplies. And Vasquez Vintage already said, order a lot of shipping supplies. For those of you who don't know, go to USPS.com. You can buy a lot. You can get a lot of free supplies, and also FedEx and UPS.
So we have a few videos about shipping, and actually we did a whole video on shipping where you could find out where you can get your supplies. But the key thing here is that those may run out. So you want to buy them now. You want to get those supplies now. You don't want to be in a bind come November and not know where to get your supplies, or pay an arm and a leg for supplies.
Yeah, and this includes not just boxes, but bubble wraps, tape, and, all kinds of, whatever boxes. Sometimes, there are different boxes in different sizes. So make sure you're ready for that rush.
Yeah, and Leslie said, great tips, ladies. As a person who's getting back to her first love, handmade, I believe being different is the best way to get new customers. I absolutely love that tip. Be different, be unique, find your niche. Leslie's always reinventing herself, which you're just, we can always follow your journey and stay interested because you're always reinventing or coming back from things that you have been successful in doing. So she's niching down on tie-dye, and she's very good at crocheting, so she's knitting, and so that's worked really, really well for her. If you're good at those things, give her Reseller's Passion a follow. Also give Girly Girl Style a follow. She does that really, really well as well, and maybe that can be what you decide to plan for Q4. So there we go. All right, so tip number 5 is keep plenty of stock for January 2. So that's going to be Q1 2021. So you definitely want to start planning for that now. Last year, what I very clearly remember, or I guess earlier this year, is that the buying didn't slow down in the first week or two of January. It was as if it was still the holidays. So yeah. I'm sure you have, those of you who have been selling can also attest to that. So make sure that you have enough inventory for December and January Q1 because that's when the gift cards come in. That's where the money that was gifted for the holidays comes in. Everyone is exchanging things. They may be doing returns and buying new things to replace that. And so Leslie said, we definitely keep a lot of supplies. Thomas is her husband, and he also resells, says, Thomas and I keep lots of boxes from USPS, and we try not to hoard, but times are unpredictable. Yeah, and so that's 100% true. Times are unpredictable right now, so you want to be over-prepared instead of under-prepared.
Yep. Okay, so the next strategy, tip number 6 is establish a listing strategy. So you're going to get a lot of inventory. There is no way for you to list all your inventory in such a short amount of time. Our recommendation is start listing. Start listing even October or September and get those listings up. You can even start listing on Vendu and officially list them to each platform. So plan ahead. And also think about the seasonality. October, people are gonna start buying winter clothes, right?
I mean, they're starting now, and it's August.
Yeah,
they're starting now.
Winter clothes, Halloween stuff, Halloween items, and then they're gonna start thinking about.
Oh no, sorry.
They're gonna.
Our dog stepped on our other dog. Sorry about that.
They're gonna start thinking about Christmas. So think about what month you should be listing what items. So that is another tip.
Sorry, Michelle. Yeah, and so, Bill says magic number time. So Bill is the one that told us about the magic number of 17 items, especially for Poshmark, that you want to be listing every day. But just to really, kind of build on what Michelle said. So you're going to take your planner, your notebook, you're going to plan your sourcing strategy. You're going to also plan your listing strategy. So remember, those two kind of go together. And so like Michelle said, you do want to put those up now. Things are selling now. Things are, it's like holiday season almost now. So list as fast as you can and plan how are you going to replenish the things that you're selling. Things are going to sell fast. How are you planning to replenish those items? So make a list of like, this is what I'm going to first look for. And if they don't have that, then this is the second thing I'm going to look for. And pay attention to profits. So you're strategic about how you go about your Q4.
Okay.
Right. And really fast, Leslie said right now in August, she's selling sweatshirts already.
So it's time to relist all those winter items. So tip number 7 is promotional strategies for the holiday. So as you know, holiday season, we're all talking about Q4. It's going to be pretty competitive, especially with retailers. So we definitely want to come up with some sourcing strategies to promote your store. So whether if it's Facebook ads or Instagram hashtags, you could maybe bump up your promoted listings on eBay. So there are ways to kind of push your store out to eyeballs. Basically.
Sure, and you can also do it free. So you can make a list. You can make a post if you are currently selling through your Instagram account, or if you're not, make a new Instagram account that's just going to be a store. You can sell on your stories, but we are in the sales, like even though, these wonderful computers and internet things do magical things for us. We are in the business of selling things, and that's something that if you want to have a storefront, and use social media in that way, you could be selling on your storefront on the regular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, think about where you want to promote. Maybe for Poshmark, definitely you're promoting clothes more, and eBay, maybe electronics. See what items do well on what platform. Promote those items.
Yeah, and one final thing about that is if you're not prepared and you have the time to plan for it, you can make your own website with your own store name. If you want to focus on vintage clothes, you could do that. If you want to focus on tie-dye things like what Leslie's doing, you could do that. If you want to focus on things that you crochet, or like the mask that Tori's making with the cute little mask holders, so you can make your own website doing that. You can also pay very limited amounts to Instagram or Facebook to take people who look or click on your ad to your website so that they could buy from you, and it may be worth the money and time that you learn this now for this winter. And so we do have another quick question here. So Bill's asking, any sweet online estate sale gems lately? We have not been sourcing on estate sales lately.
Yeah, Bill, I've been really busy with my full-time job, and usually they happen during my work time, so I haven't had time to source right now.
Yeah, we haven't been doing that. If you want to know what we've been up to now, Bill and everyone else, we've actually been laser focused on, again, this is our side gig, so we're focused on our full-time jobs, and if we have a break here and there, we are looking for specific items online from other people who are selling things. And if you're curious as to what those are, check out our What's Sold, and we just try, our strategy now is to buy and sell things that are moving consistently, even if we have to pay more, because we know they're going to move. So as much as we absolutely love estate sales and exciting as they are, we don't have time to do research right now. We only have very little time to focus on selling the things we know are going to sell. So that's a strategy for someone who is extremely busy, like how we are at the moment. And then Leslie has another good tip. She said, definitely use YouTube, Twitter, and Pinterest to promote. These are main social media platforms that my customers come from. That's really cool. Leslie, thank you for sharing that. My Web Promos says she also crochets beanies. And Leslie says, I run ads on Etsy. I run the ads once a month. I get many sales from those ads. So that's, thank you for saying that. It does solidify kind of what we're discussing now. But let's go on to number 8.
Tip number 8, email campaign. So if you guys are selling, actually all platforms, you should get some type of email information of your previous customers. eBay has a list. Etsy for sure has a list of customers. So keep that, maybe start building up your customer base, and you can certainly run an email campaign saying, hey, it's a holiday season. I have these items up on my store. Come check it out. You get 10% off, something like that. Yeah, right?
100%. And Leslie, since you have like a following and a very niched down, and again, it doesn't just have to be like a niche, like as small, as like, or specific as tie-dyeing or handmade items, but even if your niche is vintage items or electronics or whatever it is, you can get the emails from your customers that you've already had. You can create a campaign. You can let them know. You can take the pictures, those very same pictures that you're posting every single day. You can literally put them in your newsletters and let customers know what is in. You can provide a coupon, like Michelle said, 10% off.
Yeah, and even if you don't have their email address, if on Poshmark you have all their handles, so it wouldn't hurt to drop a message on their page and tell them about your promotion.
324 Fine says that they keep track of returning customers through spreadsheets, which is fantastic. Girly girl style. Tori, his wife, on spreadsheets, she's badass.
Okay, we're moving on to tip number 9 is considered a shipping strategy. So this is a big deal. Holiday shopping, a lot of people are procrastinating. Make sure you contact your local post office. Ask them about, how long would it take? What is the delay usually? Offer 1-day shipping if you like. That's more attractive. Mm-hmm. And just plan ahead and make sure you put like a disclaimer on your listing saying, hey, this, if, 1-day shipping, you get it the next day, but expect delays if blah, 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 blah. Just make sure you plan ahead in terms of your shipping.
Yeah, definitely have a shipping strategy like Miss Michelle said, same day shipping during the holiday season. Like we have our boxes picked up by our mail and other carriers, but during the holidays, we may consider going to drop off if it's safe to do so. Just especially, when it gets really near the Christmas and during that time, because we want to make sure at the end of the day that we're servicing our customers and we provide a good experience. So again, and if you don't plan on doing that because you want to be careful with the pandemic and everything, again, plan that out now. Like it's easier to plan out now when things aren't crazy than when things are crazy and you start, making decisions you might regret.
My web promo says vintage video games do well. I sold a lot of vintage NES console and game bundle.
Nice.
Bundling is another sourcing strategy, is that you want to maybe bundle something related as, to make it more attractive.
That's a selling strategy, and anytime you bundle something, you can hype up the price.
Yeah.
And they're very, very attractive to bundle things.
And then Bill says 8-day shipping at the moment on Poshmark. We're experiencing some delays on USPS, so a lot of our items are slow right now. So I can't imagine the holiday and what happens.
Okay, so for the very last tip number 10 is reevaluate your keywords and utilize SEO optimization. So little by little, kind of like if got a phone call in and it paused our video, but you can plan this part out as well on your calendar. If you have a lot of listings, we have like over 1,000 listings, but take your listings and reevaluate little by little. Do like 20 a week or 50 a week, and check on those keywords. You may even decide on some of those that you want to bundle them, right? You've had something sitting for a while and you're like, you know what? Let me sell these 2 shirts in a bundle instead of this 1 shirt that's been sitting here for a year. So this is a perfect time. Also, really quickly, if you are selling on your website or if you have a manner, honestly, I think it's just on your website or maybe through Instagram, and you want to offer, gift wrapping, that can be an option as well. Everyone is going to be, buying for the holidays, and they're going to want their items gift wrapped, especially if they're gifts. So that can be an additional service that you can provide, and you can charge for that, right? Because that's going to take time and money. So that's another final tip. And so we have a couple comments here. All right. So Leslie said, check with your post office. Our post office offers drop off in the back. There's no contact drop off. It's also perfect for the holidays. Oh, I did not know that. That's so cool that your post office does that. We're definitely going to check in with ours to see if they do that also.
Okay.
All right. So I think Michelle has to go, which if you need to go, that's fine. But I think we're done anyway. And we do have a nice little meme that we like to end all of our lives with. And if you haven't watched this movie, you got to watch it. What's the name of the movie?
Elf.
Elf, E-L-F. I've watched it like 10 times, and I'm always cracking up when I watch it. But this elf guy is eating. He has his mouth full of like spaghetti and food, and he says, salespeople try to stick to the 4 main food groups: espresso, cappuccino, black coffee, and Red Bull. I know about that Red Bull part, but I could definitely relate on the espresso, cappuccino, and black coffee. I think I would add tea in there. green tea. So thank you guys again for joining us this evening and for participating. You've helped us a lot to also get in the mind frame of preparing for Q4. And as soon as my classes are done this week, my summer school classes, I'm going to take several hours to plan everything out. And I really hope that you guys find a day or two to do the same. So have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And thanks again for stopping by. We appreciate you.